Inside Disc Golf.
Hello and welcome to Inside Disc Golf Podcast episode 21 here in Disc Golf Stream Studios. I'm Andrew Gum.
And I'm Viktor Tågestad. Nice to be back here. You have been handling a few episodes here with some nice guests, and I'm happy to be back in the warmth here together with you, talking about the thing that we love the most.
Great to have you back, and we're really excited to talk about the upcoming season, everything that you can look forward to, and also a little recap of everything that's happened so far over on the Disc Golf Pro Tour in the States. It's been a very exciting off season, and we're just getting ready to kick off the European season just a couple weeks out now. Copenhagen Open, first weekend of May. That's going to be a really exciting event. It's all filled out, and really looking forward to that. But first, we're going to talk a lot about
a little bit recap of what has happened so far this season, because we are, as you just said, right around the corner is Copenhagen Open coming. This is season opener for most European players, but we have quite a few who has been playing for already like 5-6 weeks over in US and been doing it quite good, I have to say.
Yeah. We haven't had any really big wins. Well, I guess we have, of course, from the ones we would expect. But we've had some incredible performances, basically from everybody. Everybody's putting in work over there and doing really well.
I think basically everyone, just like you say, everyone who has been over has impressed on me at least so far.
Yeah, they've showed their potential. I think everyone's capable of doing incredible things if they're just able to put together a few rounds, of up to their potential. They could be in position to take big wins. The spring swing's been really exciting over there. It's been fun to follow along, and nice to see the Europeans having a lot of success.
Yeah, and it's clear that off-season work, that we know that the Europeans have been working really hard during the off-season, that it really pays off. Basically, everyone has been playing slightly over their rating, and just shows that this will be exciting to follow these European players all season long. Should we go through player by player a little bit quickly to see how they have been performing so far this season? Of course, we should start with the number one in the world, reigning world champion, Kristin Tattar.
Yeah, no better place to start. She's been back to her dominant fashion. Of course, maybe at moments it's looked like she's not kind of playing up to her potential, but she still finds ways to win.
Yeah, those moments are quite short also, because
she's stringing together some pretty incredibly hot rounds as well. But there were some moments where I was kind of a little bit worried that maybe the injury wasn't fully healed or something, but then she would come back the next day and be as good as ever. So she's, putting in work over there, doing a fantastic job. She's got a couple wins already.
Yeah, and her podium streak, how long was it? She broke it off by finishing 5th at one event, but still, she's not going anywhere. And I think she has averaged a rating of close to 1,000 this season.
It's really impressive. Yeah, she's first, the number one ranked player in the world, number one on the Disc Golf Pro Tour points. Like you said, she finished off the podium for the first time in years with that tie for 5th place finish at the Open at Austin. But that was just a minor kind of setback. And she took a short trip home and came back really, I guess, back in prime form.
Better than ever. And she's looking so extremely solid. Something that impressed me so incredibly much was the way she won Waco, where she was pressured and she was behind Ella Hansen all the way to the final hole. Ella just needed to put it up on the green. She got nervous and slipped, and then Kristin got in the position that she has all to win by just making one putt. In the wind, in the headwind, 10 meters, water behind the basket, and she doesn't look nervous. She makes it look like it's something she does all the time, and that's exactly what she is doing also. And
she's so comfortable in those moments. She's had so much success, but she's also, she just clearly has an incredible mental game, and then all the physical skills. She's leading almost every category, according to UDisc with the player statistics. She's got 38% birdie rate, which is amazing, 80% fairway hits, 14% parked shots. She's in Circle 1 and Circle 2, top of the charts. Scramble game is up there near the top. C1X putting 74%, right there in the mix with some of the best. Only 10% C2 putting, so maybe that's, not quite the level she was at last year, but still she has made some bangers too. I mean,
early in the season, and
been some wind and stuff.
Rough conditions, a lot of wind, and I think that percentage will go up when we get into the summer. But it's extremely impressive. I like, she's in a league of her own right now. I can't see that she won't be the favorite for the basically every event for the rest of the year.
Yeah, she's got 56-point lead over Katrina Allen for the Disc Golf Pro Tour points table, so she's way out in front. And who's going to stop her?
I can't see anyone, but we know that a lot of young players are coming up and could be surprising us. But it's quite a bit to challenge Kristin Tattar.
She feels like she's just better than everybody else.
Yeah.
It
and
feels
she
like
knows it. She knows it.
She has the confidence and everything, and she's got to be the favorite coming into Champions Cup this weekend. Of course, we know what happened last year. She had it right there in her grip, ready to take the major. There was some controversy with the commentary and the rules and stuff. And we won't get into it, but she collapsed a little bit there on the final hole, and unfortunately that slipped away from her. But she bounced right back. Of course, she had her injury problems last year, but she basically won everything that she had the opportunity to win, when she was healthy.
Yeah. And that World's title, when she got that last year, I think that was also like kind of the main goal for the season, and she was able to achieve it. Now she knows that she is the best in the world, and she can prove it with that title also. So it must be fun to be playing disc golf if your name is Kristin Tattar. Right?
Wonderful representative of the European disc golf community. She's the most popular female player in the game. Everybody loves her. Yeah. It's fun to watch. And we're looking forward to a lot more success this year. Who else do we got going on the FPO side? Yeah,
we have quite a few. Let's talk a little bit about Katie Tette. I have to say that I'm maybe slightly bit disappointed of what I have seen from her so far. Like, I thought that maybe she would improve a little bit more from what we saw last year. It's far from any catastrophe or anything, but she hasn't really stepped up yet. But I'm sure it's going to come. It's just a matter of time that she has a great finish as well. I don't know what her best finish is this year. Maybe you can find it there.
She's currently rated 34th in the world rankings, so she's kind of right there in the mix, I guess, with some pretty really good players from the States. Juliana Korver, Kona Montgomery, Madison Walker. She's right in that
great
kind
players,
of right in that level of really really good players, but players that don't really win a whole lot, but they do cash quite regularly. But I think her potential is quite enormous, and I think once she finds that groove and that comfort and able to put together a few solid rounds, then she might surprise people with a big win or being up on the podium. And she's gaining valuable experience all along the way. She's got 23% birdie rate, which is pretty good right there, where you would expect, and 74% fairway hits. Statistics look pretty good. C1 putting 55%. She needs to kind of bring that up a little bit, I think. Scramble rate's pretty low. Circle 2 putting's pretty low. So, just a few little aspects of her game that she's able to kind of, take the next step and maybe improve some of the consistency of some of those categories, and maybe it'll be a different story with her placement.
Just a matter of time until we see her up in challenging the top players. And then we have two Finns. Let's talk about the biggest Finnish names first. Henna Blomros and Evelina Salonen. And that has been quite a roller coaster for them both, and especially I think for Evelina, who has had a lot of problems, a lot of struggles, but also shown some brilliance from the tee pad especially. But
she can throw so well, and I guess she's dropped a little bit down in the world rankings. She's at 15th currently. Really, I think people were kind of expecting maybe she would have been able to work out those issues on the green over the off season, but in some ways it almost looks like it's as bad or worse as before.
Yeah, and
at times. At times.
I know that that's something that you talked about with Seppo Paio when he was here as a guest, and of course, it's not something that you can just figure out in a matter of weeks. It takes time to find confidence, and I think, at least for my eye, there is some kind of changes in her form just like the last times I've watched her, but it might take time, and maybe we have too high expectations, but maybe we should have also.
It's not too much to expect to make a 3-meter putt when you're a professional disc golfer. But I mean, there's clearly an issue there, and I think it has improved a little bit. But I think in those pressure situations, she really needs to find some comfort. I think Seppo had some great advice, and if you haven't listened to that, go back and check out that what he had to say. It was really, I think, really valuable information, being firsthand experience, and really thoughtful advice for her. Henna's right up there in the top 10 still, currently ranked 7th in the world, doing solid, I guess we can check some of the stats on them. Yeah,
she finished 4th in Las Vegas, the opener of the season, and then I had thought that we might see some fireworks from her the whole season, but then she has been slowing down a bit, only one top 10 finish. After that was in Austin, and
she kind of finished the last season so strong that I was sort of expecting maybe she would carry that momentum into this year and be right on the podium at every event. We haven't quite seen that. She's still top 10 in the world rated, 28% birdie rate. The thing that stands out to me most here is the 3% Circle 2 putting and the 50% C1X putting.
Yeah,
she's struggling on the green too. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of improvement to make if she wants to be on the top.
On one hand, it must feel also good to know that that's the thing I need to improve.
Very obvious. When it's that obvious, then you can throw a frisbee as good as anybody, right? You just
even
have to figure
better than most.
Better than for sure.
Yeah.
Both those ladies are just amazing off the tee. They're two of the best in the world, without a doubt. Check out the stats for Evelina on the green: 43% C1X, 4% C2.
Yeah, you don't get up in the top with that kind of percentages. But then also we saw what happened when she came back to Finland last year, played in Heinola. Suddenly she was 100% over the weekend, or at least close to it. So she knows
I think
how
they're
to do.
Both really great putters. There's just something about the pressure situations that they're not able to find a routine and a comfort zone there, in the moment.
Yeah. So
not consistently anyway.
No. It will be exciting to see if they can figure that out. And if they do, we know that we will have some more European players up there in the top and easily could challenge Christine for some big titles.
Sure. The thing is they're so good and so consistently good with throwing and approaching that, all they need to do is catch fire one weekend and they'll be on top without a doubt. It's like they can push Kristen any day if they're just functioning on the green to a relatively decent standard. So definitely keeping an eye on them still. They're the Finnish superstars and they're over there touring extensively. I think they can play really good in the woods here coming up at Champions Cup. It's deep woods with fair lines. They can hit those gaps and they can throw so far.
All Finnish players are feeling home in the forest. So
for sure.
Going to be exciting to see them next week. We will talk more about Champions Cup soon. Let's talk about a few more Finns that we haven't seen too much of in the US, but we have been following them quite extensively here on Disc Golf Stream.
Yeah, it's cool to see our stars from last season over there doing really well, keeping up with the pace. They're right there with Henna and Evelina in most cases.
Yeah, and even beating them at some times, I think. But let's start with the winner of European Pro Tour last year, Heidi Laine.
Yeah.
With a new bag sponsored by Clash Disc. So clearly put in a lot of effort during the off season to learn her new discs and looking extremely confident.
Yeah, she's having fun over there. She's got that spring in her step. The putting looks good. She's always throwing great. Currently 18th in the world rankings. So she's sneaking up there. She's in the top 20. And
I think that I thought it would actually be higher because I
think it will go higher.
I think she's a top 10 player every week.
Sure. She's definitely getting up there. I think she just hasn't toured as extensively as some of the other players. So on the US scene, maybe she's a little bit underrated still. And I think people are gonna know who she is by within the coming months for sure.
She's definitely making some fans in US and the rest of the world, and so is the highlight machine, Silva Saarinen, who improved her game so extremely last year, and she's continuing the same way this year. She has been amazing. She has been playing so high over her rating. She must have put in so hard work during this offseason.
Yeah, she's an incredible talent. Yeah, as we all know, following along last season, she broke out onto the scene and then really kind of just kept going up and peaked at the end there and took a couple big wins. And she's in 39th in the world ranking, so top 40. And she's a teenager still. She's the reigning European junior champion. So the sky's the limit. She's really good, and she's just so nonchalant out there on the course. Like you don't sense that she's ever in any kind of discomfort. That she's just playing disc golf and enjoying it, and just highlights everywhere.
Yeah, that was something I was actually thinking about when I saw her this weekend on Disc Golf Network. That the way she is playing and the way her mental game works is basically only matched by one other player in the field, and that's Kristin Tattar. They are very similar in that way that it's only the next shot that counts. You never see any nerves. You never see any doubts. You just see the next shot and execution. And that's very unique.
Yeah, that's a special trait that can get you really, really far in this game. Yeah. A lot of people have the skills, but when you can kind of just zone in and tune out, or tune in or tune out, however you want to say it, but like all the other things, tune out and tune in to what you're doing, that can go a really, really long way.
And I don't mean this in any negative way at all, but it sometimes feels like she's a robot almost, that she's so mechanically just banging chains.
That's the machine for you. That's the machine, highlight machine.
And big thanks to Silva Saarinen for giving us this show to just.
It is fun to watch. Yeah, you got to admit. I mean, the highlights coming from everywhere. Of course, that ace she had in Heinola, but that was just one of dozens of amazing highlights that we got to see on Disc Golf Stream last year. She's an incredible talent and very, very fun to watch.
And I think she is gaining a lot of fans in the US right now, because I don't think that many people overseas knew who she was, but already I think 2 top 10 finishes, or maybe close to it at least.
Yeah, 21st and 12th.
Okay, but she was up there fighting for that.
She's been she's been right up there on chase card and stuff, and she's been in the top 10 for the first rounds. She just hasn't really been able to quite complete a tournament yet and stay in that top 10, but she's definitely impressed. I think everybody who's been following along, and making new fans for sure.
Shouldn't forget also that these has been the opening events for her.
First time in the States. So that's amazing to go out there and just already perform at that level. So it's a good sign for what we might expect to see in the coming months and years from her.
Sky is definitely the limit. I see a potential world champion there. Maybe not this year, but many years.
Many years,
many potential titles. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So young and so good. Definitely a superstar.
And traveling with those two, we also have the younger sister of Heidi Laine, Sonja Laine, who has been, of course, but she has been one of the lower rated players in the fields, but she has also really impressed with playing well over her rating basically every round. I have seen some videos of her from social media from the off season, and she has really cleaned up her form. It looks amazing. So I think that there's a lot of improvement going on. I think we might see some breakout performances from Sonja Laine this year. I'm having high expectations and hopes on her. And with a sister that good, you have a good role model.
Great role model, and you can share the experience, practice together, and and help each other, learn and grow. So really cool to see those siblings over there on tour in the U.S.
Yeah, those are the Finns. Then they will also have 2 Norwegians that have been playing quite a bit. First of all, the Norwegian we have been seeing most of on Disc Golf Stream, Anniken Steen, who you also had that here in Inside Disc Golf as a guest.
That was a great, make sure you check out that episode. She's a super talented player from Norway, 2-time Norwegian champ, and she has a really strong mental game too, and really clear, focused goals. She's a serious professional who has, I think a lot to achieve in her career.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, I think gained quite a few fans. There has been a lot of talk about her. Already in Vegas, she was up there challenging the top players and clearly belongs there in the top.
Oh, yeah. Incredibly talented. Forehand, backhand, putting is amazing. She's definitely a player to watch. She tied for 5th in Waco. That was great. She was on the podium and at the Memorial and did well in Vegas too. I guess kind of slipped a little bit at the end, but finished. I still got some points. 27th.
Yeah. Maybe I'm confusing Vegas with Waco. There's a lot of events on short time. So, but still.
But she's currently 31st in the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings, and I think she's world ranked top 30 as well.
But then we have to
25th, 25th.
Yeah. She hasn't been playing all the events, but still, when she has been there, she has really impressed.
Yeah, and another Norwegian over there touring very extensively, Luke Lorentzen.
Yeah,
she's been putting in some really good performances, shooting some hot rounds here and there. I believe she's 43rd in the world currently. We haven't seen much of her on the European scene. I guess over the last, maybe just a couple events here and there.
Yeah, I hope to see her at least at the European Championships later this summer. But yeah, she is, as far as I know, staying in US most of the time also during the off season. So I don't think that she is that much in Europe at all.
But doing really well over there, representing Europe proud and putting in some great performances. We haven't seen any really top finishes, but she has, had shown some moments of brilliance.
Clearly. And think that was all the FPO players from Europe that we have seen so far. If we have forgotten someone, then please don't be upset. Let's go on to the MPO players.
Okay.
And first, I would like to mention Jakub Semerat, also a former guest here on Inside Disc Golf.
Incredibly talented player.
Yeah, and cemented himself as a top player in the world, I think, this year. Extremely confident. I think the courses, he mentioned in when he was a guest here on Inside that he really liked playing on the open courses and playing in the wind. That's exactly what he has got to do now. And remarkably good. Just solid. When he has been not all the way up in the top, he has said that no, it was just a few holes here and there that I messed up, but otherwise my game was really solid, and that's also what we can see from his scores. That I can't the win is gonna come.
Oh yeah, I think we still haven't seen the best of what he's capable of, and he got in the top 10 last weekend, qualified for the USDGC. It's good to get that out of the way early in the season, take a little bit of the stress off, and but yeah, I think he's one of the players that we're gonna be seeing some big things from this year. He's really committed, and up 12 spots into 44th ranked in the world, so top 50 ranked player.
Such a joy to watch him play also, that he's always having a smile on his face and such a great positive energy, and really like him. And he has a lot of fans here in Europe, and he's gaining fans also in US. And
for sure, super likable guy, incredibly talented, and just a great role model and ambassador for the Czech Republic, and just great guy. Looking forward to seeing how he performs here and coming up this week at the major. I think he could do really well in the woods too. I know he plays really well in the open, but I think he can also hit really tight lines, and it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I have high hopes and wish him good luck. I also do the same to Niklas Anttila, who has been over in US and played quite a few events. Had to pull out of one after some back problems. And it was a little bit alarming, but he played this weekend and did it great.
Yeah.
So also showing that he belongs in the absolute top. He has been challenging the absolute best players, and yeah, it's just a matter of time for him as well before that podium finish is going to come, or the win. He has, of course, the podium finish at USDGC last year, but what a guy! What incredible qualities he possesses.
He will get a big win this year. I'm pretty sure about that. Currently rated 11th in the world, so creeping up into that top 10 world ranking. That's the highest European, other than Simon Lizotte, of course. So yeah, definitely a big favorite for the European Championships coming up this year, and basically could win any event. All he has to do is just put it together. He's got all the skills. He's proven himself. Yeah, definitely a really exciting player.
Yeah, and let's just cross our fingers that his back will be holding up, but it seems like it wasn't too bad after all, since he was able to play this last weekend.
Yeah, that was kind of surprised. It sounded like it was something more serious, but it was good to see him back in action and being able to perform up to that level. He was right up there in the top 10. I think he slipped a little bit in the end. He had like a double bogey and a bogey and some pars
on the
to
final
finish.
holes there. Yeah,
but he otherwise would have probably had a top 10 finish.
And that's the thing also now, the silver series are more or less as difficult to finish high than the normal big events. So it's
very competitive.
Extremely stacked field. So being able to cement yourself up in the top, that's not an easy thing to do. But yeah, he has been traveling together with some other Finns. We have seen Joona Heinonen.
Yeah, he came out fire. Like,
what a guy!
Amazing start to the season over there. For the first time over to the States on tour. I guess he was at the USDGC, but first time on the regular Disc Golf Pro Tour over there, and he started it with a bang. He was right there in contention for a win.
I thought he would be able to maybe even take it that first. Now I forgot which one it was, but
he did really well in Waco and the Open at Austin. Throughout the Texas swing, he was very solid. He's kind of dropped a little bit in performance over the last couple events, but
it's not a lot.
No, he's still right there for sure.
I think he wrote on his Instagram just the other day that 90% of his shots are feeling good, and he's trying to find out what those 10% that are not, why they aren't feeling good, and if he gets those, then
okay. He didn't actually play in Waco. I'm sorry. That's right. They went straight to Austin from Colorado. So Niklas and him and I'm not sure if Vina was already there, but Niklas and Joona are 48th and 49th in the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings. Joona had a top 10 finish in his first ever Disc Golf Pro Tour event, and it was an Elite Series event, the Open at Austin. So
that's right.
There's probably only a few players that have ever been in the top 10 in their first event on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's like you could probably count it on one hand. I don't have the statistics available right now, but I am certain that is a incredible start to your Disc Golf Pro Tour career to be in the top 10 at the first event.
Yeah, and he
so big congrats to Joona Heinonen and big things to come too. Yeah, incredibly talented.
He also has a new bag sponsored by Innova this season. I don't think has he ever had a main sponsor in that way, but
he's pretty fresh as far as being at the top level. Yeah. We kind of saw his big breakout win last year in Heinola there in the playoff. And that was at Kipi's, one of the best courses in the world, and that was a really fun watch. He had a few really strong finishes before that as well. I think he was he in the top 5 in the European Championships? Maybe
I think even third place.
Maybe, yeah. So he has had some great results, but he just keeps improving and getting more experience and moving on up.
And what really stands out for me when watching him is that he's clearly having fun out on the course, and he's loving throwing those new discs of his. And I'm also smiling every time I see him throw. It's so smooth, so clean, and he has all the skills to battle in the top.
Solid mental game too. Yeah. He seems really calm and just kind of focused in the moment. Yeah, he kind of has dropped off in the last couple of events, finishing 53rd and 61st at Music City and Blue Ridge. So maybe just feeling a little bit worn out on the road there, or just kind of a couple things that needs to kind of clean up a little bit. But it's so tight that if it only takes a few small mistakes or being off by a little bit to drop way down the charts over there. So
one missed putt, you are 10 spots lower in the leaderboard. So it
can be like that. But yeah, yeah, lots of potential from him for sure.
Yeah, next Finn we're going to talk about is Väinö Mäkelä, who you were talking about with Seppo Pajo here when he was here as a guest. And Seppo mentioned that Väinö was struggling. And what happened after Seppo said that?
He kicked it in gear, didn't he?
He really did.
He's been like in contention at several of these big events. And yeah, he's actually 25th in the Disc Golf Pro Tour standings right now, so he would be in for the Disc Golf Pro Tour championships.
The playoffs there in the end,
yeah.
And
8th place last week, tied for 6th at the Open at Austin, and then right there in the middle of the pack the rest of the way, 18th in Music City, dropped a little bit at the end, I believe. But yeah, we've seen his name up there. We've seen him on lead cards. We've seen him in the top 10 consistently. He's proven himself to be as good as we know he is, and just kind of putting it together on tour is great to see.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable. Finally, I have to say, looking comfortable playing in the US, and he knows what he's capable of. And of course, it's a heavy when you don't feel that you get out all of your potential, and you cannot show the world what you know that you can do on home soil. But yeah, Väinö, one of the favorites, I would say, for next week's major. Champions Cup.
Having a great season. Yeah, I think he's just going to continue to improve and dial it in. Yeah, he's registered for Champions Cup, Jonesboro, OTB, so he's in it for the long haul. And I would be really surprised if we don't see him over there in the top 10 or 15 coming into the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships at the end of the season.
No, not at all. Great guy, great player. Next Finn, let's talk about Tuomas Hyttiäinen and Hjalte Jensen at the same time, because I think their season so far has looked a little bit similar. That they both haven't really found their consistency yet, but they both have had some really, really good rounds where they have shown what kind of players they could potentially be. And if they can just maybe take a deep breath and find some calmness in their game. I don't know what it is really that they're struggling with, but they clearly has all the potential to be top players as well. So
yeah, all the skills are there. Just that consistency, just putting in back-to-back rounds, 3 rounds in a row. Because they've shown hot rounds. They strung together huge amounts of birdies here and there. So yeah, just kind of getting in the groove and staying in the groove. Maybe trying to find a way to maintain that level of consistency and that high performance throughout a whole weekend and weekend after weekend.
That's right. Hjalte Jensen and Tuomas Hyttiäinen was that. Hjalte from Denmark and Tuomas from Finland. And then we have, I have written here, Rasmus times 2. And that is Rasmus Saukoriipi from Finland and Rasmus Metsämaa from Estonia. And also hasn't been playing too much. I think Saukoriipi only played Vegas.
Yeah, I think he was just over there on the West Coast for a short trip. I believe maybe his first time over there, but seemed to have a good time and do pretty well. I don't recall exactly how it went, but
quite okay, I think. Anyway, like should be a course also that suits him quite well, and I think he I don't have it right here, but he played well, and he also said that he was there to learn, and that's exactly what he did. Similar as Metsämaa, who also was playing quite okay, a little bit up and down, but he also was there to learn and get a lot of experience. I think that's exactly what he got, and we should keep our eyes on both of them for the European season now coming. I think especially maybe Rasmus Saukoriipi is going to be lethal.
Incredibly talented player. Rasmus Metsämaa, first trip over there, so kind of putting the feelers out, getting a little bit of understanding of what it's like to tour over there, but also dealing with a pretty serious knee injury.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So he's been playing with a big brace and trying to, take care of it as best as he can, but obviously not at 100% physically. So I think that can explain a lot about why we haven't seen him really perform quite up to his level yet this season. But hopefully he can get healthy, and we know how talented he is. Seen him, doing a lot of great things over here in Europe, and I think he can definitely play really well over there once he's healthy.
And then we should also, of course, mention the best European player, if we even wants to be called European anymore. I think so still. Simon Lizotte, of course, quite a few wins already. Or no, maybe only one win, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Win with the new manufacturer, fourth ranked player in the world.
No.
So he's ahead of Paul Macbeth.
He is proving to be worth every single dollar in that sponsorship contract he got with MVP, having a lot of fun out there on the course and playing incredible disc golf.
Impressive that he's been on the podium. He got that win this early in the season with the new manufacturer. He's the most popular player in disc golf, fan favorite. Everybody loves the guy. So I mean, and he seems like he's found a whole new kind of way of just doing things, like that. He's really calm and really confident, and he just never gives up. He's strung together. Was it like 8 birdies in a row to just steal it from
winning from the chase card? Yeah,
amazing stuff from Simon Lizotte.
And those are maybe the European players and that we have seen.
We have Tony Farrow as well from Switzerland.
Of course.
Yeah. He's been doing really well over there as well. He's been on a pretty extensive tour throughout Texas and then moving across the South, I think, as well. And he put in some really, really good performances. He was really highly rated coming in. He was 10-20 something rated. I think it's maybe dropped a little since then, but he's got all the skills, and he's a Masters level player, so he can play in the age protected division. So yeah, it's good to see him back on tour and doing so well. And yeah, a guy to look out for coming to Masters Worlds, and basically even in the open divisions at any of these events. He's a fierce competitor and a really, really skilled player.
Exciting. And then I want to mention one player who I'm really missing there out on the courses. It's Linus Karlsson from Sweden.
Yeah, that's a sad deal that we haven't got to see him in action yet this year. He's 23rd rated in the world.
And the way he finished the last season also showed that he has really something great going on. He had a nice off-season, I know that, got some new discs that he really liked, put in his bag, and he was just ready to go. But he's having issues with a visa, apparently. Yes, I shouldn't maybe say too much, but from what I've heard, he has applied for some kind of athlete's visa that should make it possible for him to travel as much as he can back and forth to the US and not need to go back every third month or something like that. But it hasn't been approved. So we're still waiting to see what will happen with Linus Karlsson. And now, since he hasn't been able to go, I'm starting to think, like, is it even worth going until Worlds? Should he stay in Europe?
It's really sad that he hasn't been able to get over there to compete, because he's clearly one of the best players in the world. And like with all that momentum, like you said, I don't know anything about the details of it, but it's unfortunate anyway. And we'll have to just kind of stay tuned and figure out what it's going to mean for the rest of the year for him, and what it means for the future as well. And hopefully there's some positive things to take away from it. Maybe he can share something about the process so that it doesn't become as big of an issue with other Europeans in the future. Yeah. Maybe it's hopefully something we can all learn from. Of course, Albert Tom, he's got
Albert. We didn't even mention him in the
but he's a top level European over there on tour full time extensively, and he's got the visa. So it was great to talk to him on the podcast as well. Make sure you check out that episode. Bazooka, great personality, incredible player, really, really, really fun dude. And if he can kind of put together a few rounds of what he's capable of, he could also be, on top one of these weekends.
Definitely. It feels like it's a lot about his putting. When he gets that to work, then everything is just smooth sailing from there, it feels like.
He can throw so far, backhand, forehand, pretty good accuracy, and really great social media game. He's got a great sense of humor. He's a really
popular guy.
Really likable dude for sure. Yeah. So we're rooting for him and hoping he can have a big win soon. I think Champions Cup could work out for him. I'm not sure how it went last year, but
have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely another guy to keep an eye on.
Yeah, but what an exciting season we have had so far, and it's just starting. We haven't even got to play here in Europe yet. Spring has just arrived here in Finland, at least. finally have some dry tee pads and trying to find some time to get out on those courses. And I know that all the players here in Europe are extremely excited to play the season opener of Copenhagen in just 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, make sure you check that out on Disc Golf Stream. It's going to be a really exciting kickoff of the European season. And we really spent a lot of time talking about what's happening. It has been a really, really exciting year. The Europeans are doing really well. We'll do just a quick little preview of the Champions Cup.
Let's start with that. Yeah, that's right.
Just to see who's there. In the FPO, Kristen and Katie from Estonia, 3 Finns, Henna, Evelina, and Heidi. 2 Norwegians, Luke and Anniken, and Amanda Lennartson, the only Swede. She qualified from her win at the Heatland Open, which was really awesome performance. She beat some super talented players there and earned her spot.
It's going to be extremely exciting to see her on this high level. It's the first time she's traveling to US to play. She is the lowest rated player in the field, but I have a feeling that rating is going to go up quite a bit this year because she has a lot of potential. She's a bomber. If she just gets comfortable there, which I know she could potentially be quite quickly. She's
proven that she has a really high ceiling. Yeah. You know, that Heatland Open win was really impressive. Sophie Björk was there. I think Anniken, she beat her as well. Yeah. So I mean, she knows how to win on even with a good field. So I think if she's feeling it and she's in good form, it could be a big surprise for everybody over there to see a player rated so low. Maybe up in the top 10 or above. I would really like to see that.
A lot of exciting players on the FPO side in Sweden, about the same level as her, Amanda Lennartsson. Then,
yep.
And but they haven't really gotten their breakthrough win yet. Amanda, of course, got that Heatline last year, but I'm really excited to see what the Swedish ladies can do this year.
Yeah,
but only one in the field for Champions Cup.
Yeah, and there's 4 Monday qualifier spots available in the FPO, so I'm not sure which Europeans are trying to vie for those spots, but I sure hope at least Silva, or I don't know who else is there that could do that. But there'll be four more FPO players added to the field after today's Monday qualifier, which we can't seem to find any results from or any way to follow along, unfortunately. But it'll be exciting to see the results from that when they do become available. Also 8 spots on the MPO side. So not sure if that pertains to any Europeans. I doubt. Perhaps if they're over there on tour already and they want to try to qualify. I don't know the story, but
if you know anything more about this, then please contact us. Let us know.
I'm sure it will become more evident in the coming days. But should we touch on the MPO players? Not a ton of them.
No, not too many, and also some names, some US names that are missing up there in the top that we are used to seeing.
It's a beautiful place. One of the best places that you can play disc golf. It's a major, so there's definitely a lot of interest in, and something with the registration didn't go perfectly in the sense that a lot of really high level players weren't able to get in. So they opened up this qualifier, and hopefully everybody that deserves to be there will be in the field. That's all I can say at this point.
But who do we have from Europe playing Champions Cup so far?
We have Thomas Gilbert representing Canada. He's not a European, but he's been over here on the European Tour, and wishing him the best. 10-17 rated from Toronto. Jakub Semerad from Czech Republic. Albert Tom, Estonian, the only Estonian. We have quite a few Finns. Joona, Vaina, Tuomas, and Niklas, who we've all mentioned before. And we have the lone Swede, Josef Berg.
Yeah, Josef Berg, who should have been accompanied with Linus Karlsson, but
he couldn't
get it.
That's so sad that he has to miss a major like that over a visa issue. But it's great to have Sweden representing on both sides, MPO, FPO, and Josef's a player you got to watch out for.
Sneaky good.
He's sneaky good. So good. The 1,001 rating, it just looks pretty average for the field. But we know what he's capable of. He's had a couple big wins over here in Europe last season, taking down some legends of the game.
Also put in a ton of work in this off season, and Also recently started a YouTube channel. You can check that out. I'm sure he would like that. And yeah, he's really going all in right now for disc golf and the touring life. So I'm really excited to see what he can do this year.
Yeah, wishing him the best there in Champions Cup and beyond. Super nice guy, really talented player. Keep an eye on him.
And who would you say has the biggest chance out of the European MPO players?
Okay. I'm gonna say.
Should we take two picks each or something?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So there's not that many, but they're all so good.
Yeah, they are quite like on the same level, more or less. Also,
and anybody could if it's their weekend, you really got to watch out. I think you could see any of those guys on the podium. Honestly.
Can I take the first pick?
Go for it. We'll give you the first one.
As long as Niklas's back is holding up, I say that he is maybe the one with a slight edge over those other players, especially after USDGC last year, where he got some very important experience from playing on the lead card at the major. So I say that Niklas is my favorite out of the European players.
Brilliant first pick. Yeah. It'd be pretty hard to pick anybody but him first, just from what we know about what he's capable of. We've seen it, every time he's battling for it. In lieu of that, I will go ahead and take Vina. I think Vina's, he's got some momentum. He's playing really well over there. He's comfortable in the woods too. And I like what I'm seeing from him this year so far. He seems like he's in the right element. He's putting it together. I think it's just a matter of time before we see a really big win, and hopefully it'll be this weekend.
And why not? So
yeah, that's my pick.
And then I'm going to take a slight surprise pick maybe, but I'm going to take Tuomas Hyttiainen.
Okay.
And I have a reason why I'm doing that, because he traveled over to US for Champions Cup last year. He said that he put a lot of pressure on himself. He was very nervous when he came over there, and I think he finished, if not last, but in the very, very, very low in the field, and he was beating himself up quite a lot after that. So I think that he is going to go for revenge this year.
You think you're calling the redemption pick there?
I think so. I have a feeling that Tuomas Hyttiainen is going to do something great, and maybe it will be some kind of breakthrough for him on the big international scene. So I say Tuomas and Niklas.
Great picks, yeah. And I could pick any of these guys.
Yeah,
I like them all, and they're all really talented. This is hard.
You get to take them all if you want to.
No, I'll stick to the thing. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll go with Jakub.
Jakub, of course. Great.
I think I have a good feeling about Jona and Albert as well, but you got to pick somebody. Let's go with Jakub. He's got some momentum, top 10 finish. He's got that USDGC spot locked up. I think we still haven't seen what he's fully capable over there yet. I know he's happy with top 10s, but I have a feeling like he can do even better.
Yeah.
So
any day, any time he could take that win, and why not? Why not?
I'm going to go ahead with him, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Albert or Jona or Josef also just kill it over there in the woods, and that would be awesome to see.
Of course, we were wishing them all the best of luck for the first major of 2023. Let's have a quick look then at the FPO players. And you mentioned them already. I would be surprised if you pick anyone else than Kristin Tatar as your first pick.
I would be surprised if anybody ever picked anybody but Kristin Tatar for their first pick. At this point, she's really proved herself. 987 rated, putting in 1,000 rated rounds.
That rating is also going to go up this next update.
She may well be the first FPO player to reach that 1,000 rating. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So yeah, that's an obvious first pick. Are we even going to include her? Is that?
Yeah, let's take two others.
It's too easy.
Yeah, now it's your time to take the first pick.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll say that Kristin's it's too much of a favorite to even pick. But we'd obviously both pick her first.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. But that said, I'm going to pick Anakin. Anakin Christian Stain. No, she's so good. She's really, really impressed me with everything about her game. And I think she's going to be focused. I think she's she's so clean, you know, and those lines are fair. It's like it's thick woods, but it's like fair lines in the you know, great fairways. Every hole is designed like beautifully, and she's gonna dice it up. She's gonna be in those landing zones. She's gonna be in the moment, focused, and she's gonna hit the clutch putts too. And that's gonna be the difference.
It's a beauty that she has. That
it's gonna be the difference. Yeah. Her circle 2 is exceptional. Solid putter all around. Yeah, I'm gonna pick her.
Great pick. I'm gonna do. I would so much like to say Silva Saarinen, but we still don't know if she will be there. We hope that she will play the qualifier and get there. But I guess I cannot say her then. So I will take Katie Laine.
Good pick.
Yeah, she is. We know what she can do. We have watched her so much here on Disc Golf Stream, and she's already looking comfortable in the US this year. So I can definitely see her getting up on the podium.
Yeah, super bright future from her. Of course, she was a standout star all season long last year on our broadcast. We got to watch her play, and she's really, really good at disc golf. I mean, yeah, and her putt seems to be like pretty dialed in this year. So I think she might have put in a lot of work on the green.
I think
that can be the big difference.
Kind of like a sneaky good putter.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that you think about when you think of Heidi Laine, but she is.
I think she's steadily getting
solid,
better and more comfortable too. I feel like it has improved. So yeah, that's a good pick. And I kind of feel like Henna's going to put it together this weekend. This is a major, and I think it's been a while since she's had a big win. Of course, she's the reigning European champion, but we've seen her pushing Kristen in a couple of those big events at the end of the season. But I think this is a big moment for her to make a statement that she is one of the top players in the world. She dropped a little bit in the rankings. She's still in the top 10. Just have a good feeling about her kind of finding her zone this weekend, and 4 rounds. I could regret it, but I'm going to go with Henna Blomroos.
I don't think anyone can say that it's a bad pick to pick her. That's of course she should be one of the favorites, even when she has been having a few weeks.
Sure, 969 rated,
slightly off.
Yeah. I mean, she's a superstar without a doubt.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and pick Katie Tete.
Okay.
I feel that this might be quite good course for her. And then I'm thinking about what I saw from Katie last year at the Estonian Open.
She was great in the woods.
She was great.
It's kind of similar. Yeah. The way the fairway is shaped, that they're like quite good lines that are pretty fair. And
the Korvemark course is quite a bit shorter. But still, her game suits very well. She has so great control of the angles and straight shots.
Yeah, she was right on the money, wasn't she? You're right. That's a good pick.
So Katie, is this maybe when she gets fired up? Why not? I think
it'll be interesting to see. Yeah. Okay. We'll be looking back at those and hopefully not laughing too much.
No, it's going to be.
You can never tell. Disc golf is so exciting. That's one of the things that makes it so interesting. I mean, of course, you can tell. There's a couple of real standout superstars that are always going to be right there in the mix. But on any given weekend, magic can happen, and people can put it together and do things. They can play out of their mind and stuff. And so it'll be exciting to see. I think, really exciting to follow along with Amanda as well on her first performance over there. So it's hoping that she has a good time and is able to find some comfort on the course too.
Cool. That's the next week's major Champions Cup. It will be exciting, as you said. And then we have, in a very short near future, Copenhagen Open, the season opener here in Europe on the highest international level. Most of the best players are going to be there. We are going to follow it here on Disc Golf Stream, here in the studio. Yep,
that's the 5th through the 7th of May. Make sure you check out the press conference on the 4th as well. That'll be the day before. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the first weekend of May. And it's already filled up. Yeah, there's people on the wait list. Peter Christofferson just got in there with a wild card. Really happy to share that information. He showed some incredible skills over there in Thailand. Really really did amazing stuff. I got to play with him at the Kokkedal. His first big event. He's quite a famous actor, a local Danish.
I'm not familiar with him, but interesting.
Yeah. So, but anyway, a lot of great players in the field. It's stacked. It's a ton. You know, there's it's going to be a battle.
And I know that you have mentioned your favorite before to take down the Copenhagen Open, and he has been a guest in the podcast as well with a new bag. KJ, is that still your favorite?
I don't know if he's going to win, you know, but I'm going to pick him. You know, you want the local legend, the hometown hero. You know, you love the storyline there. It might be a lot of pressure to come in your hometown and try to, you know, compete with these young guys, and you know. But if I had to pick still, I'd still pick him. I mean, you know,
he was a slight disappointment last year, though. We thought that he would be up there in the top, but he wasn't really on fire last year. But maybe this year, he could do something spectacular with a new bag sponsored by Discraft. It's going to be very exciting to see.
It'll be fun to watch anyway, for sure. See, you know, he's be cool to see him shaping lines with those new discs.
And then we have some players here in Finland who has had little bit different off season. I'm thinking about Christian Kuoksa, and I'm thinking about the reigning champion Daniel Davidsson, who both have been doing military service. We don't really know anything about what they can accomplish yet.
They are signed up.
We could say that for basically anyone in the field, though, since it's the opening event. But I'm having anyway big expectations on especially Daniel Davidsson, seeing what he did last year in Copenhagen. Seems like that course suit him really well, and also the way he finished last season with a second place at the All Stars in Spain.
Yep.
So great player, Daniel Davidsson. I think he might actually be my favorite.
Yeah, and we can't forget about the youngster as well. He's one of the top rated players. Had that, you know, he also played well at the All Star event there.
Who are you thinking of now? You're thinking of Niilo Hongisto.
Yeah,
Niilo Hongisto. That is actually one of the things I'm looking forward most to see during the whole season. What he can do. Is he as good as we now think that he is? I think he might be.
He's incredibly talented.
Maybe even better.
I mean, what we saw in Turku was amazing, but then what we saw in Spain was that was next level. I mean, that forehand bombs. It's pretty amazing, and to play at that level already at that age, you know, without any experience, basically.
So fresh in the game on the competitive level.
I think that's going to be a big storyline to keep an eye on. It's hard to have huge expectations because he just hasn't really had that many events yet. But every time he's played, he's been right in there. Like he's been at the top of big events every single time. It's kind of an anomaly, really. It's hard to even really kind of process it.
He could easily take down the whole tour. He has been a surprise to me every time I see him so far now, so that I just need to accept that he is that good.
Yeah. So really exciting, and there's, you know, that's going to be a big event. We're going to do a preview show of the Copenhagen Open. We don't have to go too deep into it, but that's the first event of the European season, and that's going to be a ton of fun. It's at Valbuparken, same course as last year. Really epic, famous place. One of the most played courses in the world, and they've had huge events. They've had majors there in the past. It's got a lot of history. We got all 3 rounds coming at you live on Disc Golf Stream, separate FPO, MPO divisions, so we'll get to follow all that. It's going to be amazing. We have the final round free, so if you're not a subscriber, you can still follow along or help tune in your friends to let them know that's happening. They get to watch the final round for free. There's also going to be post-produced shot-by-shot MPO and FPO for the lead card by MDG Media and MPO chase card by KJ Disc. That's KJ Nybel's media company.
Yeah, there is no slowing down here on Disc Golf Stream, that's for sure. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen this season, and Copenhagen just feels like the perfect opener. It's a few weeks later this year. It's going to be a little bit drier course, maybe even greener. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, and then the next event after that, there'll be a week off from the big main events, and we'll be at the Belgian Open, a new event on the European Pro Tour. It was the closing event of the Euro Tour last season, and now it's joined us on the European Pro Tour for the second event. And of course, that's run by our very valued partners, the MDG Media crew. And amazing event. That's the 19th through 21st of May over there in Brussels, just south of Brussels. Beautiful course, really, really well-run event.
Yeah, you were there playing last year, right?
Yeah, ton of fun. Really, really excited for that. So that'll be the second big event of the European season. And then the Estonian Open. Yeah, that's huge too. We got Paul Macbeth signed up. There's a really stacked field, already a wait list, I think on both MPO and FPO, if I remember right.
I think that's one of the events or the places that I'm most looking forward to visit this year.
What an awesome course. Yeah, we loved it there last year. And that's going to be an awesome event. Then the fourth stop on the European Pro Tour will be the Nokia Open. And that's played at the Beast, so that's another new stop for the tour, and we're really excited about that. That's overlapping with the Pro Forester Euro Tour event down south there in Croatia.
Yeah, there is so much disc golf going on in Europe right now. So
and lots of media coverage as well, because you're gonna get to watch the European Pro Tour, everything, and the European Championships, which is going to be just a massive 4-day event in Tallinn. And 16th through the 19th of August, we'll be broadcasting every round of that live. That's going to be amazing.
That's going to be the crown jewel of the season. I have a feeling that we're going to have a lot of fun at the European Disc Golf Championship. Yeah,
it's at a festival grounds, the Tallinn Song Festival grounds, amazing venue. Seppo Paju designing that championship level course. It'll be really, really interesting to see how that shapes up, and really, really amazing. 180 players will be in the field. That's going to be huge. But there'll also be a lot of Disc Golf Network broadcasts coming on the Euro Tour.
That's right.
So there'll be tons of live disc golf. The European scene is just buzzing right now. It's just kind of really launching into the stratosphere. Everybody's really excited to see the Europeans and the Americans competing here on European soil. It's going to be a really exciting summer. It's a very compact season. There is some conflicts with the schedule, but it appears that all the events are going to be really, really well followed and covered by the media, and also really represented very well by the players, that there is quite a pretty healthy balance as far as the talent. It's spread out to all the events. So so much to look forward to.
Should we maybe say that that's it for this week's episode, and then have a look later on for the rest of the season? Or should we just mention maybe the...
I mean, I guess we'll do a really quick mention the rest of the events on the European Pro Tour, at least anyway, because after Nokia, 9th to 11th of June, then we have the Tuni, the big flagship event here in just outside of Helsinki. That's going to be amazing. That's the last weekend of June and the first week of July. And then
beautiful Sibbe course. It's a place you have to visit if you're ever in Finland.
Super fun place, an amazing event, biggest event in Europe. And of course, it's broken into 2 events, but we don't have to go too much into it. We'll do a lot of preview before that comes. Turku Open is the weekend before the European Open. Yeah, I think so. And then...
too many events to keep track of.
Well, I think it goes that the Turku Open and the European Open, and then Jarva the season ender. So, it's
that's
kind of the European Open sandwiched in between those 2 amazing events. The Turku Open, powered by Prodigy Disc, and the Jarva Open, also powered by Prodigy Disc. Those are going to be amazing events, and there's going to be some pretty high-level American pros coming to check those out, too.
That's right.
Some superstars signed up. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out there. And then the All-Star event late October in Mias, Spain. But a really exciting season coming up. European disc golf just about ready to go. we're super excited. We're going to be here in the studio, bringing you all the live coverage on Disc Golf Stream. Make sure you go there and subscribe if you're not. We really appreciate all that support. It helps keep this thing going. Yeah.
We are going to be here. We hope that you will be too. We are looking forward to have a lot of fun together here in the studio, and also, of course, with you viewers. Let's keep in touch. Contact us if there's anything you're wondering about. If you have any wishes, what kind of episodes we should put out. If you have any guests that you would like to see here on the podcast, or if there's anything else that you're thinking about, don't hesitate to contact us. And thank you for this episode.
It's been a lot of fun. Great to have you back here in the studio. And thanks everybody for following along. I'm sure you're really excited for the season to kick off as well. And looking forward to it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Inside Disc Golf. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Inside Disc Golf, the European Disc Golf podcast. Everything about European Disc Golf in one podcast.